Hello, and welcome back to the second episode of RolePlayingGents. My name is Dubes, and I play Hellfire, the Fire Ganassi Blood Hunter. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who watched the first episode, and just want to make a note of going forward, we've made some changes to how we're recording, and we're hoping the quality is much better going forward, and it will make it much more enjoyable as we proceed through the Underdark.
So who wants to take over the recap from first session? I'm going to start. You guys all awoke in the cell. You got introduced to a few of the characters that were also in the cell with you. I can quickly go through everybody to jog memories. You have Bupido, the small, or not that small, very thin, white hair, very intense eyes, like a white, very blank stare, friendly enough. You have Prince Darendel, the large Quagoth, who sits quite politely. You have Eldith, the dwarf female. You have Jimjar, man who likes to bet. The corpse of a orc. You had Sereth, the Drow. Shushar, the Koatoa. Stool, the tiny little mushroom. And you have Topsy and Turvy, the two deep gnomes. They were all in your cell. As Mistress Chandra showed up, she divvied you all up for your work orders like you do every day. And from there,
the guy in the middle of the room too.
Yeah, I said the corpse are Rond.
Oh,
but
You gotta learn to
so.
listen, Lou.
So from there, you're divvied up into three different groups, and I'll let somebody else take over from there.
Yeah, so one of the groups was the first group, the Quagoth Pit group, had who do we have here? Kachua and Sereth, and who else was in that group? I thought I wrote it down here.
Six.
Oh yeah, six.
Stool and Bupido.
Bupido, yeah, and they were asked to clean the Quagoth Pit. Kachua asked Sereth, why, even though he was a drow, why he was there, and basically he said that the drow don't tolerate error, and he was framed on a patrol for killing one of his own. So they basically treat him like everyone else, and he was sold as a slave. And then I think at that point, Sereth also told us why the magic wouldn't work in the cell, but it would work out of the cell. And he basically just said the cell was warded, so no magic would work in the cell. And he said if Mistress Chandra finds you doing magic, she'll toss you over the edge, most likely into the spiders. And then they were asked, once they got back to the cell, they were asked to do one more task, and they pulled the orc out of the middle of the cell and threw him over the edge. Second group was DAG, Gertie, Topsy and Turvy, and the female dwarf, what's her name?
Eldith.
Eldith, yeah. We're in the second group, and we were in the food hall. So there was 4 drow eating around a table, and Mistress walks in, and we basically had to just serve them up some food. We learned about a few areas from Topsy and Turvy because the dwarf was kind of giving them a hard time again. So Gertie stepped in, and we heard about Blingden Stone and Gracklestug were these two places, and Gracklestug is the largest city in the Underdark. It has everything you're ever going to need and want. It's in the South Passage out of Velkynvelve, but it's around a month of travel. And Blingden Stone was where the Deep Gnomes were from. That's in the Underdark. It's also in the South Tunnel, but it's going to take 1.5 months to travel there in the same direction. What else happened there?
You haven't even mentioned my sexy dance where I swallowed.
Yeah. So DAG did a sexy dance and swallowed a ladle in front of Mistress Chandra. Actually, that wasn't in front of Chandra. That was just for the Drow initially.
Yeah.
And then Mistress Chandra came in and wanted Gertie to do something, and Gertie did a control flames, and he produced an image of DAG swallowing the ladle and doing a dance on the flame that was in her hand.
You asked for some soup, and we ended up getting it, but she poured it directly into our hands.
Yep. But the best meal we've ever had. Well, we've had in a while. Yeah. The last one was with Hellfire, Mutant, Jimjar, Prince Darendel, and the Koatoa. What was his name?
Shushar.
Shushar, that's right. And they were... Oh, what did I write here?
We're on the lift.
That's right. It was the whole lift. The bullet points I wrote down for this one were that Shushar tells us that all of our stuff is in Chandra's room in the tower, and that's labeled as 6 through 8. And Hellfire, what did I say? Hellfire sees 8 Drow as he's traveling to the lift, but we're not sure what the final numbers are at that point. There's a bunch of Drow that leave supplies at the bottom. They just basically need to bring it up and down. The Quagoth stays up to operate the lift. The Drow's at the bottom waiting. Mutant stays at the top with Prince Darendel, while Hellfire and Shushar and Jimjar agree to go down. And then this is where things start to just break down. I mean, not really, but Hellfire tries to sneak a look into one of the crates, and then the Drow sees him. They stab him, and but he did catch a glimpse of some steel in the box. And then Mutant picks up a crate and then pulls a couple of chunks of wood like off the crate, and I guess you got 2 good-sized splinters of wood off of the one crate.
Which I later turned into darts.
That's right. That's what I had written down for that first
Well, we learned that there were 3 kind of cave/pathways down at the bottom that they couldn't really see into. They were dark, but we know there's 3 different directions down there, and that the waterfall comes down into a pool of water, but there's no rivers or creeks or anything splitting off from it. So that's why later DAG assumes that water has to be going somewhere. So that's why he got the other guy to dive in later.
And all that Hellfire also got some lockpicks.
Yeah. Hellfire got a satchel filled with lockpicks when Mutant decided to spill one of the contents of one of the boxes, which were all... The contents of that box were all weapons, so we were storing weapons in that one area.
Yep. Then we all went back to the cell and kind of talked of escape, and a few different NPCs kind of said where they think we should go. Talked about the Dark Lake and all that stuff too. And then the little crazy mushroom guy put spores everywhere, and now we can talk in each other's ends.
Sereth also tells us that night that he knows that there's 19 guards in total, and then there's only a few guards around at night, is what he told us.
Yeah. We learned that the lift takes about 4 rounds to go up and down. The waterfall is 45-ish feet deep, and then on the next day, we just kind of rotated groups, and that's when some other shit happened. We got the Drow killed. I almost got the other Bupido killed.
Yep. By jumping into the water, you convinced him to jump into the water, and then there was a what was it called? A gray
ooze.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, nah, you don't get the money. I haven't lived outside my house. I know 3 people. I don't know social skills.
I wanted information, but not that information.
Wrong answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess one of the other social things that we learned as well was Jorlin and Shur were the names of the 2 Drow that traveled with Mistress Chandra, and Jorlin is the one with the scarf that is kind of pissy because
Scar.
Sorry?
Did you say scarf?
He has a scar. He has a scar, but he's also
he does have a scarf, but yeah. I think scar is the more defining feature. I think he was wearing a scarf.
Yeah, I probably did say that because that's important to me, my
character.
Yeah. No, but Jorlin is the one with the scar who is kind of upset that Sure has sort of assumed his position as Mistress Chandra's number one.
And we had decided our plan was to kind of get our stuff and get out to the west towards the Koatoa Down.
So, as you guys went to sleep for the night, you were kind of not awakened, but your normal dream that you've all been having since getting here, where these different creatures from the dark was changed up. And tonight, you all awoke in a dreamlike state in your cells. The gate was gone. It was quiet. As you all stepped from, and this time, everybody was in it. Everyone except Sereth and Ront. They were gone. And as you stepped out, it was quiet. The torches were unlit. Couldn't hear any footsteps, but you could feel like you were in a dream. You felt almost ethereal in your presence. What do you guys do with this? You feel like you might have control, but you're not really sure. It's like one of those dreams where you start to run, but you don't really move. What would you guys do in this situation?
Hey Gertie.
Yeah.
What happened in the kitchen today? I'm basically just trying to see.
As you look to talk, your words come out, but they look to you confused. You're all in your own dreams.
Interesting. I thought maybe the spores were connecting our dreams too.
No. It you notice that it's a very ethereal moment. This is different than your normal dreams. You can move. You see the other people, and they begin to kind of just move forward in your own dream, but you yourself have a bit of ownership of your direction and where you go. So what do people want to do?
I want to try to make fire in my hand.
Try to make fire?
Yeah, I want to do my produce flame, see if I can make fire in my hand.
Roll a Arcana.
Normal.
So as you do, it erupts into flame, and it just shoots up, and you feel a warmth, but it's like a massive fireball floating above your hand, larger than you've ever seen before.
What the fuck?
But this is the same location, like we recognize it as Velkynvelve, right?
You recognize it as you awoke in your cell, but the door was just completely gone. There's no torches.
Okay, Gertie would, I think, immediately go towards the little guard tower across the way. I think it's location 10. And because he's been curious about what's upstairs.
Yeah, do some recon.
Okay, so as you go across the bridge, almost floating an inch above the ground, you see there's no door. The door's been removed. You go straight into the guard tower that you've walked through in the past. You see the ladder above you, and that's where you want to go?
Yeah.
As you go to reach for the ladder, make a Constitution save.
That's a 5.
As you reach for the ladder, it immediately becomes this black goo that's dripping down, the same thing that you recognize coming out of the well in the yawning portal in your old dreams, and just encompasses you. You're gone.
Whoop.
You awaken. What's anybody else doing?
Mutant would like to see if that rock wall, kind of instead of going across to that location 10, going towards the waterfall, if that's scalable at all.
Like you're gonna just try to reach out to it?
Yeah, to see if I could go from that number 11 area to see if I can move towards that, and well, I guess 9's the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Without going down to the spider web.
So you reach out and you touch it. The feeling in your hand isn't quite there, but you do notice that it's wet. And you try to mentally make an intelligence check as you try to trace the outline of maybe footholds and handholds in the wall.
Intelligence, eh? That's one of my strong suits.
Okay. You seem to see some, but to get further and to keep tracing them, you would need to actually reach out and go for it. Are you going to do that? Because right now you see okay, I can memorize where these handholds are. I see these. Let me try it, and maybe I can get about halfway to the waterfall.
Right.
The spider web only seems to recede right where the water is.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Okay. Make a Constitution save.
That is a nat 20.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Is that the first one this campaign?
As you begin to go across, you feel almost like something else is there, and it's like a sharp pain towards your mind, and you almost see a face coming from the wall, but you through just sheer determination manage to push it back, and you begin to map out a crossing from one side all the way to the waterfall. And you feel like you have it solid in your mind. And with that, you wake up.
All right.
What's somebody else doing?
I think 6 would try to go down to her room is the number 12 area, right?
6 through 8.
6 to 8, yeah.
6 to 8 is Mistress Chandra's room.
Oh, I see, the big stalactite. I would try to find see where our stuff went, because that's they told us our stuff was kind of in her room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would try to wander over there, see if I can see anything.
So as you cross the bridge, you go through the guard tower, where you see now that the ladder is this black slime.
Mm-hmm.
You cross the next bridge, and then you go into the room that you have never been in before. The door is not there. And as you get right to the entrance, it is dark. You feel like something's in there, and you see the silhouette of something large. Do you step forward? Do you do anything? Do you turn back?
I guess I would try to edge into the room, kind of just in the door and to the wall.
Make a stealth check.
A stealth check. 13 plus 20.
Okay.
Why is that not working?
As you go into the room, you kind of quickly move into the shadows, and you see your eyes adjust, and you see the large figure as this spider shrine. A stone shrine in the center of the room, legs down. The upper half is of a Drow warrior. All the arms kind of raising up, humanoid arms coming out of a humanoid torso on the top half of the statue, standing there, kind of imposing. With a 20?
A dirty 20,
you see a dirty 20? You see something behind it. A trap door in the floor. Not super well hidden, but it has a wooden top.
I mean, I think upon realizing that it's like an altar, like a statue, and then noticing the door, I would try to like check out that trap door. Like I just keep going, provided that like I realize that there's no danger.
So as you get to the door, make Constitution save.
Ah, jeez. 18.
18.
Nice.
As you open the door, you see a small ladder made of spider silk that drops down into a... I didn't think you'd get this far.
You underestimate my sneakiness.
I know.
Love it.
Very, very sneaky.
Yeah.
Very
Sneaky.
You see private quarters. The walls hung with black mesh, made from like a webbing kind of all across the walls, dyed black, almost like drapes. Thick woven mats cover the floor. Cushions surround like this large, like luxurious circular bed. Small table, 2 chairs on one side, and a massive, heavy chest sits at the foot of the bed.
The bed is empty?
The bed is empty.
Alright, I gotta know what's in that chest.
You're going straight for the chest?
The creepy room aside, I gotta go for the chest, yeah.
Okay. As you go for the chest, make a sleight of hand check.
16.
16?
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright.
Wow.
My stealth and my sleight of hand are my 2 highest. Like
That's the way you send a cat to do it.
He's at Tabaxi Road.
So, as you reach out your hand to the chest, you feel a sharp pain, which is odd in a dream. But you look down and you see the point of a rapier, almost like a needle, just straight through your hand. It goes from like finger to like elbow.
Oh.
And you cry out in pain, and as you look up, standing in front of you is the humanoid figure that you saw in the statue. This like beautiful Drow warrior. And you disappear out of existence.
So wait, can I just add, like the statue I saw wasn't a person spider or Drow spider hybrid?
It is a Drow spider hybrid.
But I just saw the Drow portion of that.
Just the Drow portion.
Thank you.
Like the same like face. So now 6 is awake, Mutin is awake, and Gertie is awake. What are the other 3 doing?
I mean, I got something, unless the other 2 want to go.
Oh, go for it, man.
Get at it.
Having seen the strength of my fire, I'm looking for Drow, and I want to start torching them.
So I started blasting. Where do you run to?
I mean, I guess I'd be going across the bridge towards 10 and work my way 6 and 8, 4, trying to cover the whole top, eventually end up at the lift.
So as you run through 10, you see the black slime coming down from the trapdoor above. No Drow to be seen. As you run across 6 and 8, you see that darkened room. Do you run in to 6?
With fire in hand.
With fire in hand. So, as you do, I'm going to need a constitution as you enter the room.
Save.
Yes.
19.
Okay. The fire like absolutely ignites the room, and the statue that I described earlier, the spider bottom drow top, is standing there, and you're just staring at it, and you watch as it like, your fire is massive. It's like charring the ceiling in this room. There's no drow though. You just see the statue. You see, now that it's illuminated with your fire, you do happen to see that the eyes of the statue are like shining with gems. You see 2 black gemstones are in the eyes of the statue. Do you see the trapdoor? The whole room is illuminated.
I mean, I guess I'd make mental note of that, but I'm still angry at Drow, and I want to torch some.
Okay. So you're going down or going back out?
So that was in 6, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be out and back towards 4 and the lift kitchen area.
As you run out there, flame in hand, you don't see any drow. The doors are all gone for some reason in this state, but there's no drow to be seen.
Boo.
As you stand in the center, kind of like flame in hand, you hear footsteps. You hear this like massive pounding, and it begins to come closer from that guard house in the first. You hear,
"You wish to kill them."
And a shadowed figure begins to walk towards you from the south.
I would love nothing more than to kill them.
"You wish to kill them all?"
Yes.
Good. Good.
And then you see from the shadowed head a massive skull, almost like it's like beaked at the front, horns jutting up from behind. It leans down, probably like 10 feet tall, and it looks at you. And it says,
"You will let nothing get in your way."
No.
Good.
and it begins to like reach, almost to like bring you in. And the flame you watch is in your hands is illuminating the skull face. The rest of the body is shadowed, and it begins to like put its arms around you. Do you do anything?
I'm going to accept the embrace.
It pulls you in, and you feel like almost like the flame gets bigger as you're being embraced, and you feel strong. You've never like felt like this before, and you feel like you could take out some drow, and just you feel it pulls you in. Flame goes out, you wake up. Just two of you left now in the dream.
So we're keenly aware we're in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And we can just freely leave our cell.
Yeah, as far as you know. You watch as like everybody else kind of like floats out, walks in like different directions, not responding to you at all.
I'm going to... So like I fell asleep praying next to stool.
Okay.
Well, that's the last thing I remember anyways. So I'm going to telepathic, like through the telepathic language that Stool uses. Try to speak to Stool. Say, do you want to say goodbye to your friend? And hold out my hand and see if or my claw, and see if he will come with me.
Stool kind of like stops as everybody else is moving. Stool kind of stops. Make a religion check.
14.
Yeah. He stops and he kind of comes over towards you and he hops onto your outstretched hand.
I'll kind of put him up onto like the shoulder part of my shell. Walk out towards the Quaigoth den, where I've spent both my 2 days of work and where the Drow Sarlith, was that his name? Sarlith?
Sarah, yeah.
Sarah, sorry. I left my notepad at home.
Unacceptable.
To where Sareth was slain and go in. Are there any Quaigoth?
No.
Can I find Sareth's body?
So, at the end of your last session, the body was it was moved, right? Or was it still there?
I thought it was left for the Quaigoths to eat, but...
So, at that point, it is, but there's not much of it.
Okay. I'm gonna bring Stool over to him. Say, I'm sorry, this is all that's left of him. He died unjustly. Slain by someone who was supposed to be his friend. I wish there was more we could do.
You watch his Stool kind of like hops down. You see him kind of like hop onto the remains of the body. It's pretty chewed up. The top half is okay, but you see just strips of flesh removed. And Stool kind of like does a bit of a shuffle on top and begins to kind of like shimmy himself into an open wound on Sarah.
Can I tell what he's doing?
Make an intelligence check.
Straight intelligence?
Yeah. What is it? Sorry.
A 10.
With that, you're having difficulty, but you kind of sit there. You're quite patient. So like you watch as it shifts in, and then you watch as little spores start popping up along the body. And then like a large mushroom cap kind of grows out from one of the wounds on the face. The eyes open. And you watch as Sareth's face looks up at you and says,
"You bring him back to me."
Sareth, is that you?
Yes. I am Sareth now. I am Stool. I am Sareth. I am all.
Fucking symbiote. Venom bullshit going on here.
Yeah, I am tripping balls right now.
Yeah.
Shouldn't eat them mushrooms.
Stool, Sareth, whoever you are you at peace?
Help me. Help me get to Neverlight Grove. I'll be at peace.
I'll do my best. We need to escape from here, and I'll do my best.
Protect the little one at all costs.
Is Stool like in him, or is it still a separate entity?
Stool has kind of like buried its body into like a cavity in the side of it, and then these mushrooms began to pop out of the corpse, and Sarah's eyes open and is talking to you.
The little one, do you mean Stool?
Yes.
You wake up. DAG, use up.
So this all feels very real, of course, kind of meta gaming a bit based on other people's interactions there. So it all feels very real to us, correct? Like kind of ethereal, but like real.
You can kind of, because you've been dealing with these nightmares since you've gotten here. Everybody has. You're almost prepared, and then just like the wispy nature of it makes you feel like you're in a dream.
Okay. I want to do an experiment. I want to see if things transfer. I basically want to see if in this dream state, if we can influence the real world.
Okay.
Now that we're kind of in our space. So the space I know the most is the kitchen, I think. I was on the kitchen and the lift. So I think I would go back to the kitchen.
Sounds good.
And I would just find some sort of kitchen object that I would have used like the day before.
You see the knives, you see the cutlery, the utensils, all the same things from the kitchen.
Yeah, so I would on the handle of the chef's knife, I would and do I have things on me, like any access to anything?
Not just what you had in your dream, or just what you had in the cell, which is nothing other than, I guess you had items. Some of you had a few things.
Yeah. So I have one of those lockpick things, like the thief tool kind of things.
Okay.
So I would want to do my magical tinkering and just make it so that when the chef's knife is picked up, DAG shows up on the handle.
Okay, so you're gonna work. So make a, I guess sleight of hand is what you use for a lot of tools work.
That's a 13.
So as you sit there, you begin to kind of like work on it, and it seems to carve. It seems you feel it's just odd because of how empty it is now. Like there's nobody else around, but it seems to carve into the knife, DAG.
Okay.
Anything else as you're in the kitchen there?
Now that there's nobody around, I guess I'll just kind of look back look to see if there's anything I wouldn't have noticed before with prying eyes while I was working, like check out the kitchen area and just look for anything that shouldn't be there, I guess.
So make a perception check as you begin to look around.
That's an 18.
Okay. You notice an alarm, like some sort of bell system that you hadn't noticed before. It's a large string that you seem to be able to pull, and it's kind of connected. It goes up into the wall. You don't know why you didn't see it, but it's kind of closer to where the tables are rather than the kitchen. But it's out of all the things that are different, that would be the thing you would recognize that you hadn't before.
Okay. And am I able to follow the cord at all, or does it go into like a tiny little opening kind of thing?
Into a tiny little opening in the ceiling. The cord itself is like a braided spider's like thread, but it seems pretty heavy duty.
Okay. I think that might be it, because I was just thinking of it anyway for me to find out where this goes, but if I pull on the cord, it's just going to ring the bell right in front of me.
Well, no, like, sorry. There's like a small bell, and you and then it goes up into, like, there's one end has the bell, which is next to you, and then it goes up into the wall. So there's two things.
Okay. Can I hold on to the bell so it doesn't ring, and then pull on the cord with my other hand? Do I hear anything?
Okay. As you pull on, you feel like it has a lot of give to it, and then it reverberates. You hear this massive, like, ding, ding, like the bottom little bell would have paled in comparison to the sound you're hearing, as it just has this huge alarm that almost vibrates. You feel a vibration on the walls. And then a second after that, you hear this loud shriek coming from outside, almost like a bird or some sort of creature screaming out into the open. It seems to echo around the caves.
It's just Hellfire running through with his fire.
Can I run out to see if I can hear where it's coming from?
Yeah. So as you run out, you begin to see like the outline of Drow appearing. Like poof, poof, poof. They're all appearing on the bridges, and they all are like getting to arms, swords drawn. You see fires and torches getting ignited, and then these creatures, these winged creatures coming flying in, and you watch as that scream happens again. Some of the Drow like fall over and drop to the ground, and the creatures swing by and like swoop out and take out. Boom, Drow, 1, 2, 3. You see them fall into the spider web. And then the last thing you see as you look, one of them coming over, massive, red-beaked, looking at you, just hits you, goes black.
Cool.
And everybody's awake.
Damn.
And as you all awake, ready for the day number 3, you guys are all get to hear Darendel in the corner. Anybody who speaks Elvish will understand. This didn't... and you hear him kind of like softly singing to himself. It's quite pleasant as you... Like his voice, you didn't think a Quagoth's voice could get so soft and musical. So, what do you guys do as you all awake?
Did any of you guys have that crazy dream?
I thought it was pretty great.
The ladder zoos, don't touch the ladder. It's not good. It's not good.
I think I found a good path to the waterfall if we want to go that route, but I hear there's some nasty things at the bottom of that waterfall.
Yeah, some weird oozy thing.
Oh. Do you think if we dive in the water we could get out before those oozy things get us, or?
I don't know. It seemed to get on Bupido pretty quickly. Once it got out of the water, it seemed really slow, but...
I mean, if Bupido gets caught again, we could probably all get away.
Keegan, what's the distance between our cell 11 and 12, the Quagoth pit?
Quagoth pit?
Yeah, what's the distance between those two?
You're looking at like 10, 20, 25 feet?
25 feet between the entrances of both?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 15, 25, yeah, about that. Okay. Also, when you said throw Bupido in the water, Bupido was just like, oh, you want to throw Bupido in, eh? I see how it is, big guy.
No, I wanted to ask Shushar if he knows anything about those gray oozes and how dangerous it would be to go through that water if we were to jump down from the falls.
Water gives and takes as time. A creature in water does not disturb out of water. But avoiding water should be the response.
So you think that maybe going through that waterfall might be a bad idea? Avoid the water?
To keep ourselves safe, we need to be as quick as we can.
I think I can work with that.
So what is our plan here today? guys, what do we decide on? I'm a little fuzzy after last night's dream. I don't really remember what we're doing.
Well, I did do a bit of an experiment. Whatever people end up in the kitchen today, look at the chef's knife, and I magically put my name on the handle of the knife. So I just want to. I'm curious. Like, that dream felt really real to you guys, right? Like, I just want to see if what I did in that dream translated to the real world.
At that, I'm gonna mentally ask Stool, are you and Sareth one? Are you still connected?
I miss him, but connected? I don't know what you mean.
Did you have the same? Were you not in my dream with me?
I don't really dream like you do. My conscience.
I don't know if you know what the word conscience means.
I connect with the others from my spores.
And with that, I'm going to describe what happened in my dream to him. That I took him to Sareth's body, and he was connected with it, and spores started growing out of Sareth's body.
He was infected?
If that's what you'd call it.
No, he was infected before. That's how I knew him.
Can you still speak to him from into the afterlife, or is the connection broken now that he's passed?
I don't think so. I don't hear him.
At that, you hear footsteps, and Jorlin with the scarf.
And the scarf.
Comes up. Your food is here. Eat it, gain strength, be ready to work. And he kind of begins to place the bowls one at a time. You won't have long. A caravan should be here in a day or two. Now looks at you all. Then he walks away.
As Jorlin's walking away, Gertie kind of mentally to everybody in the group, he's just going to say, caravan in a day or two. Tonight's got to be our time. We got to go tonight. So whatever we do this afternoon's got to count, because we might not have another opportunity after this.
Gertie, you're right. We got to get out of here. There's a big statue above Chandra's room, but there's a big chest in there. I think that's where she has our stuff.
Oh, so you got into her quarters.
I got into her room. It's weird.
But you think you found her stuff?
I couldn't get into the chest, but I think we got our stuff. And I'm just kind of absent-mindedly rubbing my hand. Paw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic news.
At that, Eldith will say, "You saw the stuff, the equipment."
Well, I think it's in the chest. I don't know. I couldn't get in.
She kind of looks around and says, "I know you don't know me, but if I can get my gauntlets, they need to get to my father. He'll know." God, I'm bad at accents. He'll know that I was down here. He needs to know what happened to me. Please, if someone can get Get them to my father.
What do you mean? Where are you going? Don't you come with us?
Of course. I'll do it, but what we're God, my brain is just not working for
Eldith, we don't need heroes today. We're all gonna get out of here. We're gonna get you your gauntlets, and let's all go visit your father. Then,
And she says, "But I understand, and we need to make a play tonight to leave this place. But if we don't make it, please, somebody swear to me." And she gets very dwarven, and at this point, she says, "Swear to me, someone."
In Dwarvish, Gertie will look at Eldith and say,
Yeah.
"Eldith, we've been down here together for as long as I can remember. It feels like an eternity now. We both are getting out of here. But if worst case happens and something happens to you, I will get these gauntlets to your father." And Gertie's gonna reach out a hand for like a big, like one of the elbow, big lock hands, like a big handshake with Eldith. Sister.
She goes for the the big deep one, and she says, "Go to Gauntlegrim. Tell from there, find my father." She says, "Go find Clan Feldrun in Gauntlegrim."
Clan Feldrum?
And Gauntlegrim, and tell of my fate. But I will lend my strength today in whatever plan we have.
Well, Eldith, I've got it all here, but
He's
go to
writing
your
it down.
Yeah, go right here. Yes, I'm scribbling it down in a notepad. But let's go tell your father together about the story of how we got out of here.
She kind of nods and grabs her bowl and begins to eat. You guys scheming anymore as you're eating?
I think Gertie will kind of look at the group and again, all telepathically, so the risk of saying it out loud isn't going to be heard, but is going to kind of say to the group, I don't know specifics around this plan we have today, but a plan that I've been thinking about is if I can be situated by the front of our gate here, I can potentially cause a distraction of sorts in the Quagoth pit in 12 to potentially lure some guards, hopefully lots of guards or a bunch of guards anyways, across to the Quagoth pit. And by the time they get over to the Quagoth pit in 12 and realize there's nothing there, that should hopefully buy us enough time to run across the bridge to the guard tower in 10 and burn the bridge and hopefully kind of not have to worry too much about them anymore. We can burn the bridge behind us once we all get across and eliminate that many Drow for a minimal amount of time anyways. As a starting point.
Are you going to elaborate how you're going to do it, or are you going to leave us in suspense for that?
A couple cantrips here, a couple cantrips there, pop, and things happen, and that's about it, right? So that's how I do things. Yeah. So
you need to be outside of the cage when this all goes down?
No, I can be just inside the cage, and it should still work out. So I don't need to be out. Because in fact, if I'm outside of the cage and I'm trying to lure them past the cage, they're going to be like, "What are you doing out here?" And I'm probably going to die. So
you can't trips inside the cage, right?
Motherfucker.
Yeah, rewarded.
See, for a second, I thought you were like, "Yeah, like I got a plan to get around that."
No. Yeah. That, you know what? That's a very good point. I'm glad we talked about this. That's why it's good to have a team. New
God,
plan.
I can't
New
wait till
plan.
half of you die trying whatever plan you come up with.
Now, okay, who's got something better?
Well, why can't we open
Well,
the door?
scrap that one.
We could open
Gonna
the
rip
door.
that page out of my notepad.
You can sneak out, do your thing, and quickly dive back in.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
I mean,
Because
it's something.
I'm pretty okay. I don't know how far the ward goes for our cell, but if it's hopefully just at the gate, I can just poke my head out and do my thing, and then so I'll explain to you.
Based on
I'm gonna use.
Sorry,
I'm gonna use Mage
based
Hand.
on what we kind of figured out before. It only extends inside the actual pen that we're in.
Okay.
Gauge.
Okay. So I think Mage Hand, get it over by the Quaggoth pit. Get some fire going over there, make some distractions, throw some stuff with Mage Hand, get them just thinking like, what the heck's all this noise going on in the Quaggoth pit, and then I have to go and investigate. That was the extent of it. It may not be the best, but it's what we got. It's what we're working with.
It's better than
I also
nothing.
have actually, whoever's going. No, it's a bad idea. Okay.
We don't know who's going where, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. But basically, the plan is just to make some noise over that way with Mage Hand and get them to go investigate.
Okay, so how about this? Whoever goes to the Quaggoth pit is responsible for the distraction. Whenever the distraction happens, 6, do you think you could get back into that room and get our shit?
I think so.
But hold on, this is going to happen at night, though, right? We're not doing this during the day.
Well, we have no other way of getting out.
We got lockpicks.
Unless we can pre-pick all our chains and sneakily not let them notice.
Okay.
You're not chained to the wall. You have freedom in the cage. You're just chained, and it's because even when you go to do your chores, you still have the chains on them. They're loose. Slow you down. Yeah.
How many guards are normally sitting watch when you guys are cleaning out the Quaggoth area?
It seems to be just Jorlin.
Yeah.
And whereabouts does he hang out, stand?
Not too close. He kind of meanders by here and there.
He kind of stands almost in front of the cells.
He's just outside the door, right?
Yeah, he stands out in front of 11.
And how big of a ledge? How close to the ledge would he be?
You'll see. He doesn't he's not an NPC who just goes to a place and is like, I will stand here now, 5 feet from the edge.
Well, how big is that ledge? I guess I should say.
It's from the door to the actual ledge is about 10 feet.
Okay,
maybe
so,
7.5.
So Spartan kickable. That's good.
You know what? Today he's deep
He seems to
inside.
go right by the ledge and kind of dangle one half of his body over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
He likes
saying
to
I'm
lean
going
against
to
the
do
bar.
anything, but that's good information to have.
Okay. Did DAG fill everybody in on what he saw during his dream?
He told us
Yeah.
about his experiment.
Yeah, he told us about the experiment, but he told us about the other the bell and the.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I just, if we know about that, we should come up with a plan about it. But if in character we don't know about it, then obviously we're not going to talk about it.
Yes, I would have relayed all the information in my dream.
Do we use that to our advantage just to cause chaos, or do we just eliminate that altogether?
I mean, have you seen one of those bird things flying around here? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I never have.
Oh, okay. Well,
Also, until we
I guess that's the
confirm,
end of that then.
until we confirm the experiment on the knife, we don't even know if that's a thing. We're just guessing that we kind of got a glimpse of things, but
I'll say to the group, I'll tell them about my little adventure with Stool, and Stool doesn't seem to remember it or still have that connection, so I'm not sure
Yeah, it doesn't seem to
what
be
happens in our dreams
translate. Yeah.
is at least not a 1-for-1.
Okay. So there's 19 drow around here during the day, so I don't know what we're gonna do about that. You get Jorlin in the Ringock pit at 12. That leaves 18 of them in the rest of the cave.
Have you tried killing 19 Drow?
Yeah.
I feel like Doobie's got this. He made a deal with the devil.
Okay, fair.
You don't know who he made a deal with.
You don't know that. All you know is I feel really good right now.
You do feel pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, you did just get spored by a mushroom as well, so you never really know.
Okay, you guys know that there's about probably 10 minutes before Mistress Chandra has shown up in the past. So, is there anything else you want to do, or are you going to just finish your gruel?
Are we just gonna wait till tonight and then escape tonight?
Just wing
Or
it.
are we
I think it
making
has
a
to
break
be
for it
night.
during the day?
I think we have to do it at night. With 19 Drow around in the daytime, we stand no chance. At night, with few of them, there's a much better chance. But
Okay.
I agree with Gertie.
What's the plan during today then? Just do our chores?
Backfiring,
Today-
I guess.
yeah, just, if you can, collect any more information. If you could, we know what happened with Sereth and Jorlin, so we don't probably want to poke that bear anymore. But if we can get any more recon information, let's do what we can. But be good slaves today, and we'll just meet back here this evening and get out of here.
And then what's the plan for getting out of here tonight? Like, are we all trying to go down that lift? Like, how many people can fit on that lift at once?
I remember three or four, but we do have smaller people that we can probably...
Yeah, I think they said we could comfortably fit 4, is what Keegan said, but we could probably cram on a few more.
And we're saying it's a bad idea to dive bomb into the water?
I bet Jim Jar pipes up and goes, I bet you we could get into the water. If we all dive in at the same time, and Boobadoo goes, you don't want to get in there. And he's just sitting in the corner. And Jim Jar goes, yeah, but he can't get us all. So I bet I'm not going to be the one. Anybody want to take that?
Well, I mean, for speed and for the fact that to increase our chances if we absolutely have to, I think all jumping into the pit at the same time into the waterfall is not a bad fallback plan.
I can also make 5 people fall slowly.
And that's pretty good too.
Do we kick Jorlin into the lake so that the ooze gets him and then I'll jump in and...
So I do have this nice little pressure feat that allows me to, anybody I hit with a bludgeoning attack, I get to launch them 5 feet in any direction.
Oh, so we get somebody on the bridge.
Do they get to make a save against that?
Their save is not getting hit.
Oh, okay.
So if I don't do damage, it doesn't apply. But if I hit, it just the rest of that happens.
And you have to have a bludgeoning weapon or
bludgeoning attack, so I could hit you with my hands.
Yes, sir, bludgeoning, correct. Interesting.
I mean, that could be a quick way for all of us to get down there. Is grab one of the Drow, get him on the bridge, knock him off first. Grey Ooze is hopefully occupied for a momentary, I don't know, for a little bit of time, where the rest of us can just launch ourselves in there and get out before we get caught as well.
Problem is we need our stuff, so we need to get a distraction so 6 can go do it.
Yep. Absolutely.
At that, you hear the high heels against the stone.
Shit. All right.
I mean, you guys are all talking in your mind, I assume, unless you're talking about
that was also
in your mind. In your mind.
Also in your mind,
DM doesn't know about that feat.
Yeah. So, Mr. Chandra and Jorlin and Shur all show up. She says, "Be happy, worms. I hear your ride is arriving tomorrow. Pleasant little robot." She looks at you and she says, "You and you," and looks at Mutin. "There's an item missing from the kitchen yesterday. You have been the ones who've been in the kitchen since. Where is it? Actually, it also brings in Eldith and Topsy Turvy, Stool, and Jim Jar. She pulls all of you forward. She says, "A spoon has went missing." Topsy and Turvy are like hugging the side of DAG because they're your little duckies. Jim Jar's like, I didn't do it. I swear. And he's like raising his little like robe that he's got. He's got like nothing on. He's like, I can't stop me. And she kind of pulls out her rapier. Just, you see her kind of like pointing it at everyone. Now, is someone calling me a liar then?
No, not at all, mistress. Apologies. So that recreation Gertie made for you that day with his hand wasn't something he made up. It was a recreation. It was my first day in the kitchen, and I just wanted to appease my new masters, so they told me to do a trick for them. So I kind of ate the spoon because I assumed it was something that you flesh folk can't do. So I ate the spoon to make them happy.
Come forward. She kind of pulls you out a little. And you just eat it. It just disappears in you.
Yeah, I think my lubricants just break it down over time.
What an interesting creature. Make a deception check.
Oh. She picks you up and click.
I definitely thought that was coming too.
Yeah, me too.
10.
10.
So, I just rolled her insight to that. She looks at Jorlin. She says, I don't want to dirty myself. Stick your hand down this creature. See if that thing is still there. And he kind of like looks and Shure kind of laughs. Says, yeah, get to it. And he's like, shakes his head and he pulls up his sleeve, moves his scarf back.
Whose scarf?
All right then. It is now. He says, all right, open up. You.
I'd rather you didn't, but I mean, I guess I don't really have a choice.
He looks at it, he goes, I don't want to do this either. And he kind of he's got a slender hand, so it just begins to kind of go down.
Unwashed.
And he's like, Drow are pretty clean down here. He's like, trying to feel through. It's uncomfortable, and he needs to. I'm going to do an open roll, and he needs to beat a 14.
Oh, crushes it.
What did he get?
17.
17. Yeah, so he gets to the end bit. He feels the top of the spoon, and he begins to kind of like pull it out backwards, gets it out, and he goes, here it is. Is it covered in oil? Is it covered in goo or something?
No, I think it would be pretty clean, actually.
Okay.
I just see it as being kind of like an open kind of cavity.
But you do have to digest something, don't you? Or you just don't? It's not like FCT where you... Okay.
I just don't straight up have to eat.
Okay. So he pulls it, and she looks and says, there it is. It was a fun trick, but make sure things don't go missing.
You're a robot-y there, but I get the gist.
You're
yes.
robot-y.
Hey, it's okay when I say it.
I'm sorry, Mike. Forgive this, please.
I'm sorry, Mistress. Like I said, I was just trying to make my new masters happy. It won't happen again.
Kind of smiles at you. see that it doesn't. Now, as punishment, I think you'll be in the Quagoth's pit today. Can you smell?
No. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I've only really ever been in one place. I haven't really been... I don't know.
Well, I hope you do. You as well, points at Mutin. Darendil, Topsy-Turvy, and Eldith. Then she goes to Kachua, Hellfire, Shushar. You are on the food hall. Then Six and Gertie, Bupido, Stool, and Jim Jar are going on lift duty. Shushar. Okay, so I don't know why there's only 3 and... Oh, I guess somebody died. That's why.
Sorry, who went to the Quagoths?
Quagoths is...
DAG, Mutant, Darendil, Topsy-Turvy, Eldith.
Yep.
So out of the NPCs, just DAG?
No, and Mutant.
Okay.
Yeah. So she begins to do the same thing, pulling you all out of your cells. She walks with each person, like Jorlin goes with the Quagoth, Shore goes to the lift, and Chandra takes you to the kitchen. And this time, I'm going to let you guys decide which one wants to go first.
Not everyone at once.
Okay, I'm going to roll a die. I'm going to roll a die to see who's going first. So the first group is going to be the Quagoths. So Jorlin brings you into the same room. DAG, if you can smell, you're smelling it. And Jorlin says, "Hey!" Does that. The Quagoths go to the back wall. Chain them.
Sure,
All right.
I'll give it a shot.
Who's going for it? You're a mutant?
Yep.
And can I, just as we were just all sort of separating, going towards our own groups, our own like separate ways, in our minds, Gertie's just going to reiterate to everybody's like, try to find ways out of these chains. Tools, thieves' tools, anything we can get. That's plan today.
By the time you guys are all across the bridges and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, as we're kind of just separating.
Okay, mutant, animal handling, please, as you go towards.
Animal handling. 17.
17.
Shoot it.
It kind of like backs, and you can clamp the collar on it, and you see that Darendil is like, "Oh my goodness!" And in your mind, he's saying like, "This is outrageous. These animals are beasts. I can't believe this." And he does not want to do any of this. He's like real upset about it. But he stays around the door. He kind of like begins to scrape, and you at this point see that Sareth is almost like fully eaten. And he's going to be one of the carcasses that somebody's going to throw over the side as cleanup duty. Topsy and Turvy aren't helpful. Eldith gets to it. She begins to shovel and scoop.
Do we need to try and save the corpse for Stool? Do we need to do that? How much of that got relayed to us from Kachua? This little chit chat with Stool.
I described the dream to you.
What do you think, Dag? Would there be any point in bringing the corpse back to Stool? Or was that just a one-off?
Oh, I'm Dag. Sorry.
You are.
Sorry, nobody's called me that before. Except for Gertie. You guys are weird.
Gertie's turning his grave a little bit because he's dead, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, and I'll
I don't know why I said it that way.
Look over to Sarah, and they seem to feed everybody to these guys, right? As we're cleaning up the poop, should we see if there's anything useful in the poop? Like, who knows? Maybe these things have eaten something that.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so while you're shoveling, just take a little look. See, maybe there's something useful that's finally worked its way out of this giant beast. I don't know how digestion works. You guys are weird.
As we're making passes back and forth, then I don't think we are going to save the body. Looking through what we're moving and where's what's his nut standing?
Jorlin, he's kind of like, after he sees you latch the Quagoths with the collars, he steps out of the cell and he kind of walks towards pretty much where I said before, in front of your jail cells.
Oh, so he's like way down there?
Yeah. He does like, the smell of the Quagoth's pit is atrocious, so he doesn't want to be anywhere near it.
Can I ask why the Quagoths are out of their chains every day? Like, I can't remember if you described this already. Like, why is the job every day to go and like chain the Quagoths back up?
So you're just chaining them while you clean, so they don't kill you. They're kind of like menial helpers throughout the day. At night, they kind of walk back and forth a little. You've seen them carrying boxes. They are humanoid to an extent, but they're like pets. They're like hounds.
Yeah, I kind of forgot why they were like unchained every day, and then why the job was to chain them back up. Okay,
yeah,
I got it.
Sorry, what were you saying, Steve?
We're looking through poop.
Yeah, looking through the poop as we're going. And what's with this room 13 that's right beside the Quagoth pen?
The tiny one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you've seen that one yet.
You have seen it open and close while you're there, and it looks to be like a lookout that looks to the north exit, like a guard tower. Just a really small one that has had one drow in it the odd time.
Looks upriver kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. It just has like a cutout in the rock to look out.
It's not always occupied. It's just periodic.
If it is, like, the door is always closed, and it seems to be looking north.
Is that the direction we sent Pinch?
No, you sent Pinch across the bridge, right?
Right, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I said I was towards 10. Towards the
Yeah. Are we finding anything in the poop?
So, as you guys are just doing it live, digging in?
Yeah, anytime we're kind of shoveling, I'm just kind of looking in the poop to see if anything useful has come out of these guys.
Okay, let's do a investigation. Get your hands dirty. Nasty.
Can we both roll one?
Yep, you can each roll one for your poop exploration.
God damn it! That was almost a 24.
Ooh.
Okay, so DAG, you find peanuts. That's a space peanut. Mutant, however, with an 18, you get to. I'm gonna have you roll a D6, please.
For how many long swords he finds? Sick.
One. So as you're shifting through, you find a gold coin.
Oh, there you go.
That's the worst time to find that.
Yeah.
It's covered in shit, just so you know.
Yeah, you talk to old JJ, you can turn that into 2.
Yeah.
He already owes me a drink.
Yeah, side note, everyone keep track of any bets you make with Jim Jar in case he survives.
Oh, he's not going to survive now.
He's a man of his word. He'll pay you any debts.
As we throw the any of the corpses over the edge, can I keep an eye on how long it takes for something like whatever makes the web? I assume a spider comes out to grab it.
So, yeah, as you throw Seraph over the edge, you watch as it bounces, and I would say pretty quickly you see that a spider, like, the legs kind of appear as soon as the web bounces, but then it, like, as it's kind of settles, it really begins to kind of just take its time and, like, slowly walks out towards it. So timing wise, a few minutes maybe, but you do see that as soon as it hits, the front legs of the spider begin to like come out from underneath where you guys are.
Are there? I assume there's like small rocks and stuff around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in a cave. Yeah.
That'll be all.
There are rocks.
Good to know.
I would like to take a break from shoveling and be like mutant, cover me for me. Like keep shoveling.
Sure.
And it only takes an action to do, so this should be fairly quick. But I would like to pick up a rack and use my magical tinkering using the thieves tool thing I have, the lockpick, to put a little zap of magic into a rock, and I can just record a sound into a rock.
Okay.
Or like a record a sound, and I want to try to record the sound that the Drow have been making towards the Quagoths. Like the little...
Okay.
So just thinking like we can have it for later, like in the middle of the night, if these Quagoths are coming after us, I can like tap the rock and throw it at it, kind of thing.
You should just re-record the Wilhelm scream, and like that's gonna do it for us.
So you're recording this rock, and then are you pocketing the rock, or are you keystering it? Like, are you?
Well, down the gullet.
Okay.
Down the hatch.
Yeah, it only takes a second. Is there verbal components to that spell?
No, it's not like
It's an ability. It's your tinkering ability. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just it. Only takes an action to do. So I'm just doing a quick little zap of magic and recording that sound into the rock.
Sounds good. And you gullet it. Anything else in the Quagoths pit as you guys are all scooping shit?
Not right now. I can think of.
Okay. We will go to the next group. Okay, that's going to be the food hall. So that is Kachua, Hellfire, Shushar, and Shushar. You get led in.
What number is on the map? Just because this is the first time I've gone anywhere that isn't shit shoveling.
The food hall is 3, I think.
Number three, yeah. So you get walked across.
We go across 10 and everything?
Mm-hmm. You go across the bridge. You see the waterfall. You see the room that has the door closed at 6 and 8. And you get to the food hall, and Shushar seems to be quite happy. This is interesting. Let me get to... And as Chandra walks in, she says, Prepare the meals today. Keep it quick, and make sure that their bowls are always full. And she looks at Shushar and she says, You'll enjoy this one. Open that barrel. Yes. And he walks over and he peels the lid off, just a barrel full of fish. Just like stocked to the brim, like just big heads of like these weird large-eyed fish. And he looks... he kind of like looks taken back, she says, and she kind of laughs to herself, and you see her turn and walk away. What are you guys doing?
How well watched is like the work area where we are?
I wouldn't say super well. Like there are drow that are in and out, and right now there are no drow in. Actually, yeah, there are no drow in sitting at the tables. But you see like the place settings and where she pointed to make sure food's ready to go soon. It seems like she wants you to cook like a fish stew.
So in my head, I'm gonna say to Kachua, if he can just keep watch, I'm gonna be focused on something, and ask if Shushar is okay with taking the brunt of the cooking load right now.
Of course, I enjoy the simple things. May another butcher my lesser kin, please. Violence is not one for my stomach. Mum.
So the chains that are binding us, I'm picturing it like it's just...
Oh, so you're just ignoring Shushard here? I see how it is.
I thought he just answered me.
Like, what do we need to... He's asking if somebody else can, like, cut off the fish heads.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to try something right now. If that fails, I'll get back to you.
I'll bring over the barrel towards closer to the door, if I can. If there's a countertop where I could, like, absent-mindedly chop fish heads while keeping an eye on the door. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, like it's mostly the kitchenette is kind of like tucked in that back corner of the number 3. But yeah, you can get a little closer where you can be keeping an eye towards the door.
Mutant, Hellfire, what's the plan in my head? I'm asking.
So the question for DM, I'm picturing like our cuffs on each wrist and like a cuff around our neck. Mm-hmm. And then it's just chain links across, and then a chain link down, and it meets at like a single link in the middle.
Correctamundo.
Okay, so that one right in the middle, I want to palm it in my hand, and I'm going to cast Produce Flame in my hand, and I'm going to try and weaken that center link. Like, I want to heat it up.
Okay.
And then after a while, see if I can bend it just to get like it to separate at all a little bit, not fully, but just enough that later I can slip it all off and have everything free.
Produce Flame.
Is this just the DM you're saying that to, or did you respond to me?
See, I was asking for the chain link, and he said okay.
Just ignored
and then
again.
Yeah. So yeah, I would explain that plan to you.
Okay, as you go to do it, I'm gonna come over to you, just put my hands on you and say, "Let the light of Denier guide you," and give you a little guidance.
Nice.
So, is guidance a verbal spell?
Yep.
Stealth check, please.
This could be bad.
So,
oh no. 5.
Let the light of Denier guide you.
As he yells it in the corner.
So it is. There's nobody in the room, and there is the sounds of water, but they need to do a check at disadvantage. So I'm gonna do it open. Ooh. So as you say that, and Hellfire, you hear that he like. It echoes. It echoes in the kitchen there. And he kind of says out loud, like, "May the light of Denier guide you." And do you still go for it? You feel the power, like you get this shot of it's guidance. So what do you do in that second, Hellfire?
I mean, I'm going to turn my back towards the door and kind of like hide my fist behind my body as I'm holding it, and yeah, I'm still gonna try it.
Okay. And does yours also have a verbal component?
It sure does.
As well, please.
And I'm exhausted, so this is at disadvantage.
Oh shit, I'm exhausted too. Not that it would have mattered, but
Okay.
I guess I should have done a
see if I
quote.
get a nat 1, Keegs.
Sure.
That's right. 14.
5 was the bad one.
14. You need to do it at disadvantage.
I did. Did it not do
You
them?
did.
It only.
Oh,
It
well, it
only
did, but what-
I got a 17 and a 14.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's neat. Okay. Yeah. So you do it. It begins to heat up, and then I need you to do a strength check to you. You're trying to physically bend it now that it's heated up.
Yes. This would be a disadvantage too, right?
Fuck yeah.
I'm still not terrible, and I'll add the D4 onto that.
Did you fail the con save on the second night, or was it the first night?
Second night.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a disadvantage.
So,
Okay, so-
16 with the guidance.
Oh, I guess your stealth's that guidance too, but
Well, I
Oh, yeah, you get it.
I didn't want to use it on that one because it's only once.
It's unlimited for a minute,
Really?
isn't it?
I thought I thought I had to pick
Where's
one.
the
No,
roll?
I think it lasts a minute, but you can only add it to one roll.
Oh, yeah, good call.
okay. So 16?
Yep.
Yeah, no problem. It bends to however you like if you want to make a little bit of an opening in it.
Yep, that's what I'm aiming for.
Okay. Yeah, it opens up, and shortly after, Chandra walks back in. You see her walk towards. Did someone attempt to cast a spell in here?
I did. Sorry, ma'am. I'm not much of a cook, and I just wanted to make something good for you.
She says, "How did you cast a spell?"
I'll go. Is it okay if I show you?
Yes.
And I'll literally do the same thing. Let the light of Denier guide you, and I will go up to her and put my claw on her hand and guide her.
Do you need, and is guidance one that you need your focus for? Like you need your tattoos?
Yep.
Okay.
And the divine intervention above.
Denier. Why do you worship such a god?
She is my god, ma'am. That is how I was taught.
Make a deception check.
Good thing I'm bad at that and guided her.
A 4. Ooh.
Every roll I've had has been terrible.
She says, "You need to be educated. Come with me." And she leads you out of the kitchen. Do you say anything or do anything as you're getting let out?
I'm just gonna follow her.
Okay. She walks out. She brings you over to the stalactite that is her room, the one you haven't seen opened. She goes to the door and she opens it. She calls you in.
How does she open it? Is it just like a lock, or?
It's just a door. Just opens. And as you walk in, you see this massive statue. She says, "I would like you to clean this. Spend time. Truly look at Lolth. Understand that your gods cannot see you here. That Lolth is always seeing you."
Would I know what Lulf is?
Yeah, with your background, you would know that Lolth is like a deity to the Drow. You know that like her principles are kind of what guides Drow society in the Underdark, and that she like encourages cruelty and like the slavery and the that like betrayal and fighting your way to the top is really the core principles of Lolth. You would know that from your readings.
And she wants me to clean it or study it?
She wants you to clean it. She tells you to come in and like dust it and like polish it and just be in its presence. And I will say that as you enter this room, you do feel uneasy. Just staring and like seeing the statue and seeing that like it's like a spider face. And this is different. Like, you're not going to know this is different from the dream, but its head, it has this drow humanoid head, but it has 8 eyes instead of the 2 from the dream.
I definitely didn't mention the statue to these guys. I just skipped straight over that, went straight to the chest.
Yeah.
Kachu would be very surprised.
So this statue has 8 eyes?
This statue has 8, like it's a drow head, but it has like almost like a spider face feature on it, and all of them are gemstones. She looks and she says, "Spend time, truly understand and look. This better be spotless when I return. And do take care as others visit the shrine throughout the day. Just be still." She turns and leaves.
Okay. Firstly, is the statue obviously dirty in some way where it's like it's apparent of what she wants from me, or
it's like not super dirty. There's like one rag on the ground. It like maybe a little dusty, but it's more of a like a punishment than anything really.
Okay. And is there anything else in the room as I kind of look around? I'm not gonna veer at more than like a step away from the statue, but just from where I stand at the statue, is there anything of interest that I could see?
It's a circular chamber, dark silken mats with a pale web strand pattern woven through the silvery thread. In the middle of the chamber, it's on a pedestal carved from like a hard wood. No, not much else. It's just kind of spider webs all around the outside of it.
Okay. I am going to... You said it's like mostly dust on it?
Yeah, mostly dust.
Yeah, I'm just going to start dusting it and trying to clean it off. Doing my thing. And yeah, that's all I'm going to do for now.
Okay. We'll go back to the kitchen. Hellfire and Shushar. What are you guys doing in the kitchen? Hellfire, now you know, like, people are now coming in and expecting fish soup.
See, I would say to Shushar that I was hoping I could get all of our chains broken to help for tonight, but I did get mine, and I'm willing to attempt to get his, but I feel like we should probably forget that and just focus on the food. And I'll cut the heads and do whatever he needs me to do.
Okay. Yeah, the day goes by, pretty uneventful. The Drow seem to be excited that there's a bit more protein in the meal. And Shushar just hums to himself throughout the day. He cooks the food. He seems to be like seasoning it and spicing it with like the random ingredients that are lying around. The Drow seem pretty happy with the final result. And he would tell you mentally that he'd be happy for you to break the chains, but he says that if it comes to violence, he will take no part in it.
I would say, first safe chance I get, I'm going to break the chains for him. Like later tonight.
He, like, in the kitchen still, or back in the cell?
Like, as we're cooking, I'm gonna say that, like, once it's safe, like, later on tonight, well, hopefully it's safe later on tonight, he's the first guy I'm gonna break the chains for, if needed.
Okay, so there is a point where there's no Drow in the kitchen, a few hours into the day. That would be an opportunity if you'd like to make the attempt.
No, I'll wait till later. When we're breaking out, that's when I'm gonna break that chain for you, buddy.
As it is, we'll go to the lift crew. Sure leads you down, and he gets to the top, does the same spiel. He says, "It's going to be a shame having the Quaggoths do this again. Once your caravan arrives, but one last time can't hurt." And he looks to Six and Gertie, Bupido. Stool is kind of just on. He's going to be on somebody's shoulder, and Jim Jar's there. Does the same thing. 2 people on the top. The rest go down to load up the supplies.
Yeah, as we're standing at the top, Gertie's going to look at Shure and he's say, like, "Listen, as you can see, our group is, Stool," and he's going to kind of look at Jim Jar and, myself not being very big people and say, "Sure, is there, do you know of any way that we could, be a bit more efficient with this lift? Because, again, unfortunately today, we're not the biggest and most strong people around here, and unfortunately, like, any tips of how we can maybe load this thing up and, get it up here more efficiently?"
Make a persuasion.
Oh my god, that's a 10.
Looks at you and says, "You are useless, all of you, aren't you?"
Well, listen, I can see the way that Chandra looks at you over Jorlin, and
puts his hand. He
Okay,
puts his
fair-
hand out to just
fair
stop
enough.
you talking. And he shut the fuck up. He steps up and he just turns and says, "Wait there," and walks away. So you guys have a moment. He walks back towards where the cells were.
in our heads, okay, do you want to go down? Do you want to stay up? I mean, I think you're a little bit more sneaky. This is all in our heads as well, but this is you're a little sneakier. So maybe if you're handling the stuff and can maybe see if you can get an extra thieves tool or something, and I'll try and man the lift a bit. And
Yeah, I'll go down.
Work? Okay.
I'll go down. Last time I stayed up, Ubido came up and he was almost dead. So.
Oh, what? I didn't hear that story, but okay. I would rather stay up here then. Okay, good.
So, and people in the Quaggoth cell, you're going to hear footsteps, and then conversation is going to be had between Jorlin and Shore. If anybody speaks Undercommon, this is an opportunity to eavesdrop. I'll just give it to you. If you're interested, you'll have to roll for it.
Yeah, I don't know shit about fuck.
You don't speak Undercommon? Mutant, do you? Sorry, you say no?
He's muted. Yeah.
Muted yourself.
Thanks,
You done
Jesus
muted yourself.
There he is.
Stupid headphone thing. I don't think either of us do, but do any of the NPCs speak Undercommon? Maybe Eldith?
Eldest does not.
Eldith, Topsy-Turvy, though. They might.
Topsy-Turvy do.
they're deep
You guys
in,
can speak. You guys can speak to Topsy-Turvy through your mental brain.
Hey, Topsy and Turvy, would you guys be able to
thinking out
eavesdrop
loud
on that conversation over there?
Okay.
And I'll look down to them, and it's okay, guys. Mutant, he's a good guy. Go ahead. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind listening in for us, I'll give you some more food in the morning.
They kind of like act nervous. They look around, look back and forth, and then they kind of go, and they're both going to do. All right, one of them can hear. The other one's ears are clogged. But Turby begins to relay to you. He goes, they're fighting. Shore's yelling at Jorlin. They don't. He doesn't like him. He wants a Quaggoth. They're coming over here, and they kind of like scurry away from the edge, and you hear Jorlin kind of come up here, and he says, "Get the Quaggoth. Get both of them." Somebody hit me with an animal handling or rebel and initiative. Am
I doing it?
He seems pissed.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a
Go. So as DAG, as you go and pop the collar on the Quaggoths, you're getting a claw. Does a 8 hit?
Nope.
It just kind of like swipes at you, goes over your head, but you manage to get the collars off. Pop, pop, and then the Quaggoth's like he gives like a sharp whistle, and they kind of come lumbering towards, and like Darendel's just like looking at them, being like, "The fuck are they doing?" Shaking his head. And he follows, and a few moments later, back at the lift, Shore is standing there, and he has 2 Quaggoths kind of like standing next to him, and he says, "Work the lifts, you beasts." And they kind of lumber into place, and they kind of take position on either side of the wheel.
Gertie's going to look at Shore, and he's going to say, "Thank you so much. This is amazing. We could probably be 3 times more efficient with the Quaggoths here, and we'll get this done."
And he goes back into his room.
And his room is number 4, so right
number
beside.
4 on the right.
Yeah,
On
that's
the
like
right,
the
okay.
room.
And
that a lot
that's
of the
where
tasks,
that's where all the material goes in.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 that man the top of the lift, right? So there's nowhere for like Gertie to help out at the top at this point with the 2 Quaggoths there.
The 2 Quaggoths seem to have taken up position, and like this seems like this is one of their menial tasks that they do when they don't have prisoners. So as you guys all load into the lift,
at the top, Kelkus is going to just take like a, I don't know, he's going to try and find like a
Kelkus
stone
isn't
or
here,
a
buddy.
rock or, oh fuck yeah, I'm not Kelkus anymore. Gertie's yeah, Gertie's just going to try and find like a long flat rock maybe, or something that's a bit, it's got a little bit of length to it, and he's just going to like kick it off the edge onto the spider webs. Again, for the same purpose of just trying to see if he sees. He's just going to try and see if he can identify where or if the spiders come from somewhere in particular.
So you got to boot it a little bit further, because like where the lift is, there's an opening in the spider webs. Like you could go straight down all the way, because the lift obviously goes up and down. But as you boot it too, you see that it'll hit the web, and as the web begins to bounce, you do see a set of spider legs kind of like coming towards, and then like once you see it in like the distance coming out from underneath, it goes like very slowly. Doesn't seem to.
And where is it coming from? Is it coming from underneath 4, basically, like right from, like right?
It's more. It's closer to where the cells are. Like it's kind of underneath 10, I would say.
Okay, Gertie's gonna load up in the lift as well and carry on down.
Okay. Old Jim or Boopido is like, he's like looking over the edge, just down at the water. This is darkness down there. You don't want to go in there. There's something in that water. And he's just saying it out loud.
I bet you Jim Jar will bet you to jump in that water.
No, I'm down to bet. What are we betting on? You in the water?
Yeah, Boopadar, Jim Jar wants you to jump in the water again.
Buddha goes, fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me again. Ain't gonna fool me again. And
Yeah.
he mumbling a little to himself. Still recovering from his injuries.
As we get down towards the bottom, how is it lit down here?
So it's still that, I'd say a singular torch next to all the crates is standing on like a tripod type thing. And then there's like illuminated fungus in the distance, and there's a drow down at the bottom. He kind of is not paying too much attention, but he says, load these up quickly now.
As this is all happening in my head, I'm gonna say to Six, I'm gonna say, you tell me when you're ready to look in these boxes, because I'll dim the lights. I'll help you out with that. So maybe as you're moving things, whatever, you just give me the signal. I'll dim the lights. I'll help you out. And this is all in my head to you. So at that, I'm going to have control flames ready, and as soon as Six tells Gertie that he's moving a crate over to the lift, and he's kind of ready to do that, I'm going to dim that singular torch that's downstairs to hopefully give him to distract the drow to look at why. And
with what spell? Sorry,
control flame.
Control flame, is that a verbal spell?
It might be.
That's one thing that I've read. It's everybody forgets that. Also,
just thematic.
Okay,
just thematic.
Thematic. Okay. Yeah. So as you guys begin to load up crates and stuff, what's your plan? You see the drow isn't paying too much attention to you, but
how big are the crates again? Pretty big.
I would say
I can carry it.
Yeah, you can carry one crate at a time.
It's like a tote,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I think once we had a layer of two, we had one on the bottom and one stacked on top, so I didn't have to bend down. I would give Gertie the signal.
Yeah, and maybe we'd even stack up a higher row towards the side
front?
of the drow standing. Yeah, just so there's not a direct line of sight.
Yeah. So I'm kind of half hidden.
Sure.
And they just they're just latched, or are they nailed shut, or are they?
It's a kind of a variety. Some are latched, some have nails. You don't really, unless you're trying on the lids of them. It's I would say a lot of them are nailed, and the ones that are latched seem to have a lock on them.
Okay.
So as the signal goes, you're dimming the lights.
Yeah. So as I'm gonna kind of flicker the lights. I'm gonna have the lights kind of on that singular torch. I'm gonna have it kind of flicker and then go as dim as I can make it without extinguishing the flame. And then I'm going to cast Mage Hand when it's dark, or kind of pretty dark. That has a verbal component to it, but I'm going to cast it. And I'm going to have the Mage Hand basically drop a rock or throw a rock in the opposite direction to make a noise on the far side in the opposite direction of where we are and where the torch is.
Okay. So
there's a lot going on there. But
there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I need a sleight of hand from, I guess for 6. Would you go for a light crate or a heavy crate? Because that's kind of the only thing you can really notice when you're picking these crates up. Some of them are light. Some of them are you can hear metal rattling around inside of them.
Probably a lighter crate.
Okay. Lighter crate, check. And I'm going to need a sleight of hand from 6. I'm going to need a stealth. Actually, I'll need a stealth and a sleight of hand from 6. And then I'll need a stealth from Gertie.
16 from Gertie.
I'll do my stealth first. 26.
Damn.
And my sleight of hand? 22.
Okay. So yeah,
Wow.
you manage to get your claws underneath and like pry up a corner. You feel like the finishing nails like loosening. Maybe the wood was a little wet, and it like comes up, and you can reach a paw in there. Gertie, you're like, thing drops. You see like a rock hit in the distance, and with that rock, the drow like looks and then begins to like keep working, and then sword drawn, begins to walk towards the northern entrance into the darkness.
As the Drow's walking that way too, I'm gonna have the mage hand pick up the torch that was lit here, if I can. I don't know.
Wait, sorry, mage hand is visible, isn't it?
It is visible, I think. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Oh doggy, you might have fucked yourself.
Yeah, unless you have the feat that makes it invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I did it when the lights dimmed right down in hopes that he wouldn't actually see it.
Yeah, because the guys that live
I gotta-
underground definitely don't have dark vision.
I was literally about to say that. Drows are notoriously difficult to see in the darkness. I'm gonna roll a. Okay, all right. So he didn't see the hand. Are you keeping the hand there as he's walking towards it?
Well, no, I had the hand like throw something, so he shouldn't be walking towards the hand.
Oh, I thought you said he dropped it. Sorry. Okay,
or dropped it, whatever. Yeah, but
well, there is a difference. If it's floating 20 feet away from you and dropping something versus
in my mind, I had it closer to me, throwing something in the opposite direction.
Okay.
So that he would be walking in the opposite direction from us and the hand. Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. So yeah, he would begin to walk into the darkness. 6, you get your paw into there and you begin to feel around. In this one, can you give me? Can you roll me just a flat d20? 8. Okay. So as you reach into this pack, you feel a length of rope. It feels thin, it feels strong, and you feel like there's a length of rope in there.
Can I pull it out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as you begin to pull it out, you see that it is silken rope, which is pretty heavy duty and light, and it's coiled up. Looks, best guess, maybe 50 feet.
It's a lot of rope.
A lot of rope.
I don't know if I can stash 50 feet of rope on my person.
It is like
Thin?
because it's silken. It's quite thin.
Okay. Yeah, no, I try to pull it out and
Like cat with the tapeworm.
wrap it. My ball of yarn. I like try and wrap it around like my waist or something underneath my clothes.
Yeah, with your two rolls before, like you can pull that out, and especially with the guard now, like between the two of you working together, with the guard like leaving, you have a few seconds to wrap it, get it tucked in and hidden. No problem.
Sweet.
Before the guard comes back, I'm going to take the mage hand and I'm going to fly it as far away, 30 feet, and as high as I can to get it kind of out of eye shot. If I can tuck it around like a little. So I don't want to like tell it to go away. I want it to still be there, but I want it to be far enough away.
Probably up in the webs.
Are you talking to go to like straight up, south,
like
west, or north?
Then, let's say up and where's that map? And towards locations. Up and maybe kind of towards the east, like around 4. I don't know how far it can go around the.
I don't know the range of mage hand, but
it's 30 feet. It's 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, so you can just put it up in the air, 30 feet.
And I'm just trying to find somewhere to tuck it around so it's not completely in visible range.
Yeah, I mean, at 10, 20, 30, like 30 feet is just the tip of 4. So you might be able to get it tucked in behind that.
Perfect. And that's what I'm going to try to do. And after that, I'm going to telepathically talk to 6 gonna say, "Okay, you good? We got it. Thumbs up. All good. Okay."
Thumbs
and
up.
I'm
Like-
control flames, and I'm gonna just make the torch kind of slowly just go back to normal, normal
Flame.
strength. Yeah. And then I'm gonna hop on the lift and.
Yeah, once you guys have loaded back on, the Quaggoths will go up, and you guys kind of go up and down a few times to do your workload for the day. And if everybody else doesn't have anything major that they wanted to interject for their rest of their workday, we'll cut to everybody going back to the cells. Anything?
The only thing
somebody
that
want to add?
Gertie wants to do on the way back to the cell, and the reason why I kept his mage hand there, was because on the way across the bridge, I want to bring the mage hand, kind of hidden out of sight, across to the waterfall.
Okay.
And I want to try and scoop up as many of the black mushrooms with yellow spots on the waterfall that I can get.
So, as your guys are walking back, you're going in, and then you're looking over. You see the mage hand kind of working its way underneath you guys on the spider web, and it gets to the waterfall. You have Chandra, Shore, and Jorlin all kind of standing around, but the mushroom is like in the water, or like the hand is in the water next to the thing, and plucking a mushroom, maybe 2 to fit in. All you got is a hand. I'll say you can get 4 of these little caps in the hand.
Okay.
It's next to you as you're beginning to walk towards the cell. What's your play here?
Sorry. So it's next to me now?
Like it's down near the waterfall. It's out of sight. It's kind of tucked in underneath you. Like it has the mushrooms. You could get it to do that, but you're now beginning to walk towards the cell, and the mistress.
And are they all ahead of us?
They're kind of staggered. Like the Jorlin is going to be off to the north end of the map, with walking in with the other guys. Shore is with you, and Chandra. I'd say that Chandra's group is probably ahead and already back in the cell, and she might be heading back.
As we're walking up through 10, I'm going to control flames and snuff out one of the lights, or all of the flames in the room.
Going through 10. Okay.
So as we're walking across the bridge from like 6 to 8 through 10, the hand is scooping up the mushrooms, and as we're going across the bridge, Gertie's gonna control flames and basically kill the lights, kill the candles or the torches that are in that room.
So as the torches go out, like there's one guard sitting in there, kind of just it's a break room almost. Candle goes out. You don't even see him. Do you have night vision? Do you have dark vision?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, 120 feet.
Okay, so in the dark vision, you see that like he doesn't really react like.
And what about
crazy.
the one behind? Did you say there was one behind as well?
One what guard or?
Well, yeah, one guard, one drow following. No, if not, then that's even better. Even better.
Just the one, but then like Jorlin is up ahead next to the cells.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is, as I'm walking towards the guard tower at 10, just on the bridge, just before we get into the room, I'm going to have the mage hand come up on the left side of the bridge, and I'm just going to kind of have my hand out the back, and I'm just going to have it drop in my hand. I'm just going to very subtly put it in my little loincloth.
Okay. This is going to be a stealth check, and this is going to be it's a ballsy move, my man, and I hope you succeed.
Literally.
Who's looking at me right now? You said Chandra and the other drow are already in 11. The other one.
There's a drow sitting in number 10, and Shore was walking. Drow have 100% night vision. They have the best night vision of most critters, so the light going out is not detrimental to them.
Okay.
But that's it's understandable that you probably wouldn't know that.
Right. Okay.
See you stealth.
12.
Okay. It's going to be a disadvantage. I am doing it open. It's going to be a disadvantage because it's a well-laid plan. And let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
We got it.
Oh,
yeah, we did. Okay.
Nice.
So you like it's like it's smooth. You're walking like the hand flies up just at the right second. The lights go out. The Drow's kind of like, oh, that's odd, and right into the back pocket, down the side. You just kind of like finger gunsing everybody as you walk by.
Yeah. And immediately Mage Hand is gone. I dismiss it, and I feel pretty good about myself right now.
Yeah. And Shore is like right with you guys, so he doesn't see anything. And at that point, you walk by Jorlin, the rest of the crew. You guys get brought into the cells, and doors close behind you.
As we were approaching there, I just wanted to see if I could get a look at that rock face going towards the waterfall to see if I could recognize all those handholds that I found in the dream.
They are exactly where you saw them.
And are they impressed in my memory enough that I could like draw a map on the dirt on the floor?
You could. It would probably be a check to see how accurate you could draw things. That'd be just in that situation of how, if you're trying to imprint it on a bunch of other people, it would take your,
Does
a
the
bunch of
telepathy
skills
allow me to share like imagery of what I'm seeing?
Not imagery, no. But you could give it a good go. It's going to be difficult to draw in a dark cell on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So you're all in. Close the door. Dorlin says, "Well, sleep tight. Tomorrow you leave." What's your guys' plan? Let's see it. Let's see what's happening
I
here.
just realized I forgot to look at the fucking knife in the kitchen to see if there was etching on it.
Go!
He's already gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got kicked out and had to clean a statue all day. It ain't me.
Well, in hindsight, it really doesn't matter either. If we have to escape tonight, anyways, it was more like to see like could we set up something for the next day, but we gotta go anyways.
So Gertie, after kind of everything settles, he's gonna go right up to Mutant and just say, "I heard you were looking for something like this," and he's gonna pull out 4 these black mushrooms with yellow spots on it, and I don't know why, but here you go. That's for you.
Excellent. I might be able to do something interesting with these that might help us tonight.
Wow, that's all I can hope for.
Hopefully.
He's also gonna approach Prince Darendal, I believe his name is. Yep. And he's gonna say, "Well, I've been in here for quite some time, and I really hope you can use this." And he's gonna give him the iron bar to just use your strength to help us pry off some of these chains, some of these cuffs. Hopefully you can just really pull that off, and if you have a better plan with it, I'm all ears, but you seem to be the biggest and strongest one around here, and we could really use that strength for us to get out of here.
You see him kind of taking it in his hands, and he's like feeling the weight. He says, "I am not one for violence, but I do feel..."
No, this isn't violence. No violence.
No. Well, sorry. He's not like Shushar. He's just not used to it. He's not against it.
Oh, well, in that case.
Yeah.
Why don't you just, feel the weight of it in your hands for a little bit and get comfortable?
Yeah, he kind of goes back and forth with it, and he's like, should I begin to...
Well, tonight is the night we're getting out of here, so let's take a quick once over with everybody, kind of make sure we know what we're going to do before we start breaking our chains, and then we'll do it.
Okay.
I will mention...
Hellfire, did the plan work?
Yeah, I was going to say, talking about breaking chains, I'm going to actually attempt to unhook the one link that I split and see if everything will separate, and let everyone know that, I mean, it'll be risky because we'll be in a rush and I can't do it in here, but I might be able to break all the chains if needed.
Yeah, yours comes off no problem, and you have like 2 metal leashes on each hand.
Ghost Rider.
And one hanging down. Yeah. I was gonna say Kratos, but yeah. Then Darendil, like, he's feeling his strength, and he's like using the bar, and he's kind of like looking at his own chains, and you see him begin to kind of pry on his putting the bar through the metal like center ring and twist.
That was a nat 1, everybody.
2 in a row.
So Darendil does not get his off, but he's like, oh, I'm just getting used to this. Let me try. God, he's got a good modifier too. He kind of looks around, seeing if anybody else wants him to try on him.
Try on those names.
Sorry, you said Gertie?
Dag, what are you saying over there?
I was just go ahead, but I was gonna say I don't think you can hurt me with that metal thing. So you could try me too, but go ahead, Gertie.
Gertie's gonna put the chains across a rock and just like have at it.
God, did he only get a 5? Jesus. So he only got a 5. Doesn't get Gertie's. And then on DAG. Okay, so this one on DAG. Pink! Same thing. Goes the center ring pops. You have freedom of hand movement, and there's not going to be any disadvantages or anything while doing any athletic nonsense.
That's better. Thank you, my friend.
Of course. And he kind of bows his head. He goes over to Kachua, kind of holds it up.
Sure, if you'd like.
This one pink, pops off. Looks at you. Looks around. 6.
Oh, thank
Mutant.
you.
My turn.
Okay, so Mutant. Wait, is it Brady or
They were going 6 first and then me.
6 first. 6 first. Okay. 6 does not get it. He.
Can I assist him as he's trying mine, like pulling on the chain or something to make it a little tighter or something?
Sure, it'll be an advantage. You guys should have all thought of that.
That's why I stretched mine across a rock. Does that count?
Yeah, but you're kind of like a little baby wizard guy.
You're right.
This is like a muscular mutant.
Mutant's yoked, yeah.
Yeah. You got a nat 20. So
rock break.
Yeah, you just absolutely bust out, chains just tinkling to the ground.
And I gotta focus on trying to make poison out of these mushrooms.
Well, seeing them work together and seeing my hands are free, I'll go over to 6 and say like, "Oh, I noticed you seem to be pretty handy with those lockpicks too. Do you want to work together to try to get yours off, maybe?"
Yeah, I only have 2. I know you have
as long
1.
as we save one for the door.
Yeah,
we gotta have one for the door. Yeah, at least one for the door.
Actually, maybe we should do the door first, just to make sure.
That would be a good idea. Yeah.
Well, you and I could work on the door together because we're both proficient, I think, with these tools, right? Yeah. But do we want to wait until we have a plan before we do make that roll?
I'm just gonna see what others that he gets off. He's gonna go to the dwarf. No, dwarf is still chained. Jim Jar. You got Jim Jar's strength. His chains come loose. Bupido. Oh, Bupido's free. And
Stool.
Stool doesn't have chains.
What?
Shushar?
On his 4 little legs?
That's racist.
Shushar. Shushar is free. But he insists and reminds you that he will not lift a hand to fight.
Topsy-turvy?
Topsy is free. Turvy is free.
Nice. All the NPCs.
What was up with Bupido?
Bupido's free,
is out.
Yeah. It's only the dwarf, Eldith, 6, and Gertie are still shackled. But again, you've been doing all your stuff during the day with these shackles. They're an inconvenience, but they're not you're stuck not moving.
So, something happened today. I got reprimanded by the Countess. She brought me into a new place. There was a large, creepy statue of Lolth in there that I was required to clean. But it seemed like an important place. I wonder if that's where maybe our stuff is.
Well, I think, were you in Mistress Chandra's quarters? Is that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna perk up and be like, "Oh yeah. No, they're under the statue." Did I not mention that?
I think Bupido told us it's over there too. I think.
So we'll probably want to get there if on our way out. So we need distraction, get there, and escape is the 3 things that need to happen.
Is it really that important that we get our stuff, or is it more important to get out of here?
It's very important for me to get my stuff. I cannot leave here without it. It is for me. So either I go alone or we go together. But I'm not leaving this cave.
Yeah, Kachua wants his stuff as well.
Even if it costs you your life.
It's not a want. It's I need it. I can't go without it.
All right, enjoy re-rolling your character.
Yeah, I can make a spear out of almost anything. I'm really easy.
No, I'm down. I'm down.
Eldith will say, I need my gloves. My gauntlets. They have to go. They've been in my family for generations. Got it back, baby.
Nailed it.
Kid's back.
It's gonna have to be, because I assume Chandra's gonna be in her room. So how do we get in there, get our stuff, and get out without her noticing, or how do we restrain the strongest person here?
Well, we have a couple cuffs here. Can we repurpose some of these and use them on her to at least temporarily?
Is that before or after she stabs you in the gut?
And would that affect her ability to cast spells?
Potentially.
If she can't talk.
She can't talk.
We need to gag her.
Yeah.
I've got rope.
So I think first, regardless what we need to do, is we need to get to her quarters. We need to get down that trapdoor, and we need to get our stuff. Once we have our stuff, we might be a little bit more equipped to handle whatever else comes. But
I feel like we almost all need to go together. Like somebody sneaky, like maybe 6 goes in to do the jump, but everybody else has got to be close by, because I feel like we need to get her under control and restrained and get our stuff out and get out from there.
Seraph did mention there weren't too many Drow guards around during the evening, so potentially we can be sneaky enough to get by and go right to her quarters without anybody noticing or seeing.
Keegs.
Mm-hmm.
This poison that I'm working on, can I gauge on exactly what it's going to do? Is it just a general poison, or is it going to have any other effects? And am I successfully doing it, I guess?
You need to do a medicine check.
9.
So, as you work with them, I'd like three different, because you got... No, it's 4 mushrooms. I need 4 medicine checks.
Okay. 14, 7.
So you make 4 doses of like a liquid poison. What are you keeping them in? Like as you mash it up and put it down, what's your plan here?
Well, I'd like to use some of that poison on the darts. Is there anything else we can use as weapons?
I think if we take some of that poison and we soak a piece of our loincloth or a piece of our cloth and we use that as part of a gag for Mr. Chandra. I'm just saying it could be
not a bad idea.
It could be something.
Yeah, we can definitely take some material then and soak one of the doses in that.
And also thinking further about as I've studied or remembered where the rooms are, if we are going for our stuff and we're all going together, I think from the mistress's quarters, do we just go into the water and because the other drow sleep right by the lift? Do we really think we're going to get lucky twice and operate that lift without somebody hearing it?
We just have to brave that ooze. Are there any bowls or anything for that last dose of poison? Anything left from our food or?
Bowls get removed at the end of the day. Yeah, they don't seem to be in your cells after breakfast.
Gertie will hand Mutin the knife that he stole from the kitchen and say, "Would something like this work?"
I think I can make that work.
So I'll give you the knife. Yeah.
All right. Who's good with a knife? Probably 6.
Pretty proficient with small knives.
I would definitely coat it and then pass it on to you. So we got the rag. Who wants the rag with the poison on it?
I think 6 got to take that too if he's going to be the one sneaking in before the rest of us get in there. So,
oh boy,
it's pure chloroform, by the way. Pure chloroform.
Pure chloroform.
Give that a sniff there.
Like how we're putting the entire new campaign on the new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prove your worth there, new guy.
Oh boy, I don't have a backup character. So.
As you guys are talking and scheming, DAG, you're going to hear and you're going to recognize it first. That massive bell sound. Everybody's going to hear it, but you're going to recognize it. That alarm bell is going to go burn, burn, and then an ear-piercing screech is going to echo out through the caves. Now, moving forward, everything you guys do is going to be on a timer. Okay? So, the bell is going to sound, then you're just going to hear yelling outside. Sounds of people running. You're going to see Drow running around across the bridges outside of the cages, and you're going to see these wings, just massive birds swooping by. What are you guys doing?
6, get the door.
I can see the future. Yeah. I'll assist 6 with the door.
Somebody get the door, and maybe somebody get me out of here. And I want to hold my arms out again. I'd love not to be chained.
I can give Darendrill a hand, trying to break those chains.
Okay, Darendale can't attempt it a second time in the same day.
Okay. I guess my strength isn't that great, but I can give it a go.
Okay, make a strength check, please.
17.
Yes, 17.
Okay, 17. Gertie's out.
So is it coming off from the wrists or
No,
just in the middle?
It's just that middle loop is breaking.
Yeah, got it. Perfect. Mutant, thank you.
6, you're still chained? Right?
I'm still chained. We gonna try
Okay,
for
and
all
what
three
are
of
you-
us, or
Are you working on the door, or what are you working on?
DAG and I were gonna go work on the door
Yeah.
With the lockpicks?
with the
Yeah.
lockpicks.
Okay. Let's do a sleight of hand at advantage, because you're both skilled in this, so...
Yes. You've had the hot hand tonight. You roll with advantage.
All right.
Oh.
Here we go.
You hear a loud click. The door.
Also, can I see the
the
future?
lockpick
I
is
did
gone.
not expect these birds to actually happen in real life.
Yeah. Was this a
So-
premonition?
As the door unlocks, you see like everybody else in the like topsy turvy are kind of tucked in beside DAG. Eldrith is like kind of raring to go. Darendil has the bar in his hands, and they're all looking at you guys, being like, "What's the plan? What's the plan?" And you see Drow running. You see one of the Drow who's kind of in between the Quaggoths and you just get hit, boom, by one of these creatures, and you watch as its like torso gets flayed, and this creature lands on the railing and just tears into half of the Drow and flies off. You've never seen a creature like you've never seen one of these creatures before.
What the hell is that? Oh my god. Okay, we all got to get out of here. Gertie's gonna go over and try to help Eldith out of her chains somehow.
I mean, if we get out of the cage, I'm gonna start. Whoever has their chains left, I'm gonna start heating it to make it even easier to break. I think I would start with 6.
Okay, so you guys are all just rushing out the front,
straight into the hallway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chandra's.
So as you're out there, you kind of load up. You look both ways. You see down towards kind of 13 and where that little room is, the doors open, and a Drow is like yelling orders and paying attention directly to the north. It's all in Undercommon, so anyone who speaks Undercommon is going to hear like, "We're under attack! We need to defend! Get to Chandra!"
And yelling to the north, you said?
Well, he's looking like out towards the north. You see him like loose a few arrows from, because the door is now open, and you can see that there's a big opening that he's like a watchtower.
That's by the pit. You said
up near 13, up near 13. The Quaggoths.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gertie, as soon as he gets out of the cell, is going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
And so there's going to be a little special hand with him, and then I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Fireball.
I can, on the just on like the rope on the bridge, in an attempt to try and weaken or kind of catch the bridge on fire. And
you can cast that without your
there's no
focus?
components. There's no components required.
So you hit the bridge, but you guys are on the jail cell side?
Yeah, we're on 11. The 11 side, yeah.
Okay, so you hit it, roll an attack.
17.
Okay. Yeah, you hit it, and you watch as it kind of like the spider silk that kind of holds the bridge together burns on the one side, and now it's like pretty loosey-goosey.
Now, just to follow up on that, how close is that the spider webbing from the bottom of this bridge?
Oh, it's like 10 feet, I think, below.
It's 10 feet below. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the image here, you can see that it's about 15 feet below. The actual like spider web that goes across.
Yep, you're right. I was just looking at the top view, so... Okay.
What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna shout to Mutin to break 6's chains. I've been heating it this whole time.
I'll give that a go.
Okay, do a strength check at advantage. Now it's been heated.
Oh no!
Still stuck. Anybody else want to try? Each person can only try like a chain once. Actually, Eldith will come in now that she's out. Oh no, she still has chains on.
The two of us still have chains.
Yep.
I mean, the prince did it with his chains on.
Yeah, but has +3 to strength. He's a big boy. Okay, she'll try. No problem. She comes in. It's been heated, so between the two of them, boom, 6 is free. She still has hers on.
I'm moving the heat right over to her chain.
Okay. You might want to roll for hers.
Gertie will run over and try and break Eldith out. Strength check. It's a 12.
Okay, with the heat, that's okay.
Ooh.
I will say that during this, because you guys spent some time just standing out there getting chains free, that Drow that was looking out the other way shooting arrows has looked towards you, and he's across next to the Quaggoth's pit, and he goes, "The prisoners are loose! The prisoners are loose!" Begins to run at you, pulling a sword. What are you guys doing?
While this was all going on, I wanted to scoop up Stool.
Okay.
And start going towards, I guess, 10.
So you're crossing the bridge?
Yeah. I would have been
Okay.
going to, and I would have grabbed, put Topsy and Turvy on like each one of my shoulders, kind of.
Okay. Okay, so as you guys are going across, you look over. Drow is running at you. What are you guys doing as the Drow coming at you? Because as you're running in, as I'd say by the time you got halfway across the bridge, you see that there is a Drow in number 10. He seems to be going through boxes and grabbing things. You're not really sure what it is.
The charging Drow, I want to throw one of my darts at him.
Okay, roll the hit.
18.
18.
Oh yeah.
Sticks into his neck. Okay.
I was gonna say, can I Sacred Flame him?
The Drow, yeah. We got a lot of people, so I'm just going to do the save for him. Actually, I need to do a roll.
Want me to roll damage?
Roll damage, yeah. Roll your damage,
7 damage.
and so that's going to be 14. The Drow got a crit on his save. So it does do 14 damage, and he kind of like stops. He's like, "You'll regret that." He pulls the dart from his neck. He made the save
Get any
against the poison.
gauge on what that poison does?
No, because he got a nat 20 save.
Oh.
Yeah, I was hoping for you. But now he's got swords drawn, and you're Sacred Flaming him, Kachua.
Yeah, so we just have to make a dex save.
Dex save, okay. Oh wait, sorry. What?
You're actually all dead.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. The module has it has different Drow stats. This Drow only has 13 health.
Oh.
And that's not me trying to like baby you guys. Like that's the stats.
Hey.
How does it happen? As the dart hits his neck.
Yeah.
He comes charging over, and I just like Naruto style, just like throw the dart straight out, and just like right center of the neck. Oh.
Yeah, and he kind of just falls back, dead. Jesus, I did not expect that. I'm gonna give. It's auto generated. Like I'm looking at the map with all the tokens on it, and it's auto generated all of those things. So 13 might not stick for everybody. That's cool. It's just the map is so
cool.
busy with tokens that I don't want to bring you guys over yet.
Yep. That's not good.
Terrifying.
That's not good. Yeah.
Well, honestly, it's mostly the 15 of you. So,
Gertie's gonna wait until everybody gets across the bridge at 10, like towards the tower, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna cast Firebolt on the bridge behind us.
So, as you do, but you guys are running across the bridge, there's a Drow in the room. He looks to you, and you see him just grab a sword out of the box that he was looking in and pulls it, faces you. Would you like to Sacred Flame that one, Craig?
Oh, I thought that was the one that
You said killed, yeah.
No, I killed the one that was charging at us.
Oh, okay.
So then that was the one I wanted to Sacred Flame, the one in the room I was running towards.
Sacred Flame, that's a dex save for him.
Yeah.
Dex, he gets a 14.
That's the DC.
So he's good, right, for a save?
Yeah, meets it.
Yeah.
Gertie's gonna look at the prince and say, "My prince, now the iron bar. Let's see it."
He kind of looks, "I will do my best," and he strides forward, his like back jointed legs, like he's like standing up to his full height, and he is a big boy. He just bounds across the bridge, like goes past Kachua, and let's see what happens here. I'll have you guys roll him out, because if whoever survives this will become your guys' characters to play.
Oh God, kill them all.
Yeah.
Okay, I need somebody to roll me a d20, and you get +5. Gertie, you're the one who sent him in.
Okay, sorry. So you want me to roll just straight D20?
Yep.
Straight D20.
8 plus 5, 13. He swings wide and crashes into the top of the thing. The Drow looks at him. You dare attack me! Pulls a short sword on him. It's a 20. Does max damage. So it does 8 damage to Darendil. But Darendil has 45 health.
DAG, never being in any sort of confrontation before, is just going to throw up acid.
Aim it at the Drow.
Yes, I am. But so another dex save. Acid splash.
Okay. It's an 11.
1d6.
Okay.
4 acid damage.
And anybody else? It's kind of open initiative right now. The Drow's already went. He attacked the first person to charge him.
I mean, I'll chuck the fireball that I've been holding.
Okay, fireball going at him. Is that a dex save?
No, it's a hit. It's also not fireball. It's produce flames.
I know. I knew it wasn't a fireball,
Okay.
but yeah. Fireball would have instantly killed all of you. You're all within 10 feet of this guy.
Not one.
That one misses. Anybody else?
Yeah, I guess Gertie won't go for the bridge. He'll take on the threat with his firebolt.
Yeah, because you guys would technically be on the bridge still until like you're crammed in a room.
So then in that case, I'm not shooting the bridge. I'm going to firebolt the idiot there. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That hits. Damage.
9 damage.
Almost max.
9 damage.
Nice.
How's it happen?
Nice.
As Gertie's kind of pulling up behind the rest of the group, he runs into the room and kind of does this like Neo Matrix style firebolt and shoots him right up. Yeah, singes him. Gone.
Okay, he drops. You see, he drops his short sword in hand. The room is clear. Why am I so big?
You've got something to say.
I'm grabbing that sword on the way by.
Okay, you add a short sword to your inventory. What's everybody else doing? You're in number 10 now.
Are there any other weapons in there?
Yeah. As you open the box, you see that the crate that he was going through had one other short sword.
Short sword up for grabs. Anybody?
I've still got my knives, so
I take the second short sword. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe the dwarf wants it.
Gertie's gonna burn the bridge whenever he can.
Bupido wants it. If he's like, if it's up for grabs, I'll take it.
Take it, Bupido. Unless any of you guys want it.
And you see as he spins it around in his hand pretty good.
All right,
Immediately
Bupido.
stabs
You, my man.
Yeah, step. So Bupido kind of sticks behind, like he's not the guy leading the charge, but there's a bridge. You hear a lot of fighting going on kind of near the lift. You're in number 10. What are you guys doing?
Keep
And
pushing,
once
right?
we're across, Gertie's gonna burn the bridge behind him. So both the bridge between 10 and 11 and 11 and 12 will be hopefully burning. And
10 and 11 and 11 and...
yeah, so since we're all in 10 now, I'm gonna I've already burned the bridge or cast firebolt onto the one between 11 and 12. So now that we're in 10, I'm going to cast a firebolt.
The
onto
one between
that
11
bridge.
and 12 is a walkway, I think, not a bridge.
Yeah, it's a walkway attached to the
Oh, I was wondering why you were shooting the bridge that we still hadn't moved across.
Oh shit! Sorry, yeah. So
that's
why
where the confusion
Yeah.
with the Drow came from. Yeah, from 11 to 12 is just it's an outcrop
it's a
from the
walkway. Sorry, it looks
Yeah.
very similar to. Okay, got it. Okay, well then I'll just burn the bridge that we just went across. The only one that we've been on so far.
Oh yeah, if you look at the side view, that is clearly just like a set of stairs.
yeah.
yeah, that's just a set of stairs. So from 10, and then you see the longer bridge that brings you towards 6 and 8. What are you guys doing?
Make my way across.
Who's leading? What's the order?
I can lead.
I'd like to be near the front.
Gertie's going to be near the back.
I'm going to be kind of near the front as well.
Yeah, I'm not the quickest, but I'm going as quick as I can, so I'm probably mid-tier.
Okay.
And Gertie's going to talk to Prince Darendel and say, don't worry, buddy, like, that was a good first attempt, but you're going to get the hang of this, and, get up there.
I'll do it next time, of course. Yes.
Yeah. No, I have
Very
faith.
good, sir. And you see his, like, weird, like, clawed hand is like... Okay, so who is leading? Specifically leading?
You to lead.
You're all quiet when I get specific, eh?
The
Newton
monk
is leading?
always leads. That's always the best choice, right?
Okay. Monk leading. So, as you run out, you hear that screech again.
Uh-oh.
One of those birds is getting close. It flies by and lets out a howl. I need a thing. I need you to make a con save.
Everyone?
No, just mutant as you run out.
14.
As you run out, the screech, it just like hits you and it like stops you in your tracks. You feel your ears like pressure pop and you feel like a trickle of blood come down your one ear. But you're still good. You made the save. 514. Yeah, but you hear the mop, mop. You hear the ringing.
I have tinnitus.
Yeah, you have tinnitus. And you watch as the bird kind of flies past you, forward, and then around, and it seems to dive in further close to the lift. You just guys keep running?
Yeah, I think we're making our way to 6 to 8 there.
Okay. 6 to 8. And you're cutting in towards the statue?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where we need to go, right?
Before Gertie goes in, this time I think he's going to cast a firebolt at the webbing on the far side, like back towards 11. And then an attempt to catch the spider webs below on fire.
Okay, this is going to need a roll, an arcane, because this is just a cantrip you're casting, right?
Yeah, it's just cantrip.
Yeah, so I'm going to need a to hit, I think.
To hit of 24.
Okay,
Nice.
you launch it back, hits the webbing, and you watch as it quickly begins to spread out. Just catch, it lights all this whole side, pretty much to where the webbing is kind of wet from the waterfall, is all begins to get burnt up.
As it's getting, well, am I watching this all happen? Like, does it happen fairly quickly?
It happens pretty quickly, but are you sticking out to watch it, or are you running into 6?
No, I'd be running in.
Okay.
If it's, yeah.
So as you guys run into 6, who is the last person? Pardon? Yeah, the 6th room. Is that everybody going in there? I assume.
So.
Yeah.
Who's the last person going in?
I would probably be the last one from our group. So whether or not an NPC is behind us or not.
Okay, so as you look, you see the big like fighting going down. You see these birds like dive bombing onto about 5 drow who are all circled up around Chandra. And at that point, she looks over and sees you guys entering into her room and just no begins to sprint towards you.
Immediately, Gertie's going to say, Darendel, I need you. Get the bar. We got to bar the door. And I'm going to get Darendel to come over and try and use that iron bar to... Does the door swing in or out? Usually going into a house, it's in. So, yeah.
Yes, it's in.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to yell at Darendel and say, we got to bar this door.
Okay. Of course. And so you want to put the...
Yeah, I want to use that iron bar and try and like wedge it into the ground and maybe up against like the door and the handle. And then I'm going to ask him to stay there and like shoulder it and use all of his strength, his Quagoth strength to prevent anybody from coming in.
Okay. As he bars it, you quickly see like hits going against it, and I need you to roll a d20, and you're going to add 3 to this for his strength.
D20. Oh,
Nice.
Nat 20.
Okay, I'm going to roll
one of those.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, you hear bang, 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 bang. Doesn't you don't hear anything coming like from the other way. It's like a soft, but Darendale seems to have his shoulder right on it firmly.
I'm gonna say
and you guys are all
Darendale-
stuck in this like. Sorry, go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, okay, we're gonna grab our stuff quick, and we'll be right back.
Okay. And you guys notice, yeah, at this point you're in the room. It's pretty tight with all of you in there, but the spider statue, the Lolth statue, is in the center. That wooden passageway is behind it, underneath the back, and you guys are just in there. There's a moment of quiet. What do you guys do?
I'm holding a fireball to light up for those of us who can't see.
I would have like rushed to the trap door to get down underneath it and being like, dag, 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 because I know the chest is down there.
Yeah, I'm coming with you.
Okay, you guys drop into like the very luxurious room, luxurious sex room that Chandra has.
And wait, you said you got stabbed in your dream, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna quickly check the chests for traps.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna cast my mage hand to also, after he's done his check, to potentially open it.
Let him do
Oh
a check
no! It was a 19 and it rolled over onto a 1.
Yeah, you feel.
Get-
Yeah. Looks good to you.
Okay, I'll using mage hand, I'll use that to pop open the chest.
It's locked, so.
Oh, it's locked. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get working with our tools. Same thing. I'll assist you. You've been rolling hot. Keep her going.
Let's give her.
New guy.
Still sleight of hand, right?
Yeah. Sleight of hand. I'm gonna say, as you guys are down there, is everybody going down to the middle area, or is somebody staying up top with Darendale?
I'd be up there helping them bar.
Okay. So Hellfire's down at the top.
I'm downstairs for sure.
Sleight of hand 18. Okay, let me. pull
One
up
more?
this-
Wait, do I have advantage? Yeah, advantage with
Yeah, because I'm assisting you.
22. All right.
Nice.
Two. Okay. Now, as you open it, it clicks. Then you feel a stab as from the mechanism a needle shoots into your hand. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
Oh no!
It looked good.
That one.
Oh,
So, as you yes, I got it. You feel that needle hit you. You take 1 point of damage, and you just watch as everything goes black. You fall unconscious.
He dreamed it and it happened.
that could work out well. As you begin to fall unconscious, you guys hear movement as one of the chests is slid and a trap door is lifted. Next to you, the Jorlin, the one with the scar, comes out from the bottom. Sword drawn. Let's roll some initiative.
oh my God!